My final goal was to get better at baking. I think I did achieve this goal because, as you see in the video, my baking gets progressively more confident and overall better. Baking is a method of preparing food that uses dry heat, typically in an oven. I chose baking as my P4 project because I've always wanted to get better at baking. My sister's pretty good at baking, but I was really never that great. For my research, I had my 5 different recipes, and I consulted my mom if I had any questions about certain aspects of these recipes. First up, my banana bread. You're going to need bananas, sugar, vanilla extract, flour, butter, and eggs. Baking soda. Then beat the butter and sugar together until it's nice and fluffy. You're going to want to add the bananas and make sure they're mushy. Then add 2 eggs and make sure to beat them up before you put them in. Then mix that all up until it's well combined. Then you're going to want to sift your flour and your baking soda and sift that in. And you're going to want to mix that until it's well combined. Then you're going to want to butter and flour your pan and pour your batter in. Then preheat your oven to 350 and cook this for an hour. When the toothpick comes out clean, you're done. Next up, my cookies. You're going to need flour, baking powder, baking soda, brown sugar, regular sugar, and 2 eggs, vanilla extract, M&Ms, chocolate chips, and butter. You're going to want to have your flour, your baking soda, your baking powder, whisk that together, and then set that aside for later. Then you're going to beat your butter and your 2 types of sugar until it's nice and fluffy. You want to add your eggs, vanilla extract, and beat that until it's well combined. You're going to then want to add your M&Ms and chocolate chips and mix that all together. You're then going to roll your cookie dough into balls, or I did cubes. You're then going to want to bake that at 350 for about 9 minutes, depending on your oven. Once they are out of the oven, you're going to want to scrape them off the pan and put them on a cooling rack.
Five. Kind of. A 4-finger licking good out of 5.
Next, my cupcakes. For your frosting, you'll need powdered sugar, butter, cream cheese, vanilla extract. For your dry ingredients, you need flour, cocoa powder, baking powder. For your wet ingredients, you need butter, sugar, 2 eggs, oil, buttermilk, vanilla extract, white vinegar, and red food coloring. You're then going to need your cupcake pan with your liners. You're then going to want to whisk together all your dry ingredients and set that aside for later. Then beat your butter and sugar until nice and fluffy. Add your eggs, oil, buttermilk, and red food coloring. This is where you add your vanilla extract, but I forgot to do that. You're then going to want to add your flour mixture a little bit at a time. And now I added chocolate chips, but you don't have to do this. Then evenly put batter in each of the cupcake liners. To make the frosting, beat your butter and cream cheese and slowly add in your powdered sugar. Then add your vanilla extract and beat that until nice and fluffy. This is how you put the tip on a piping bag. Then put the frosting into the piping bag. I used a cup to make it easier myself. You're then going to want to pipe each cupcake with their own frosting. This is definitely a struggle of mine because, as you can see, they didn't turn out the best. And your cupcakes are done.
3.5 finger licking good.
4 finger licking good.
I give it a 6.7.
Now the strawberry shortcake. To make the shortcake, you need flour, buttermilk, sugar, eggs, butter, vanilla extract, baking powder. You're going to need a sifter and a hand mixer. To make the strawberries, you need strawberry and sugar. To make the whipped cream, you need heavy whipping cream and sugar. You're going to have your butter and your sugar, and you're going to mix that up until it's nice and fluffy. You're then going to want to add your vanilla extract, your 2 eggs, and your buttermilk, and mix that up with the hand mixer to make sure it's fully mixed. You're then going to want to sift your flour and baking powder a little bit at a time to make sure it's all complete. Then you're going to want to grease your pans and evenly distribute the shortcake mixture into each pan. Then put them in the oven and bake them until they're nice and golden brown. When the toothpick comes out clean, you're done. To make the whipped cream, you need the heavy whipping cream and add 2 tablespoons of sugar per 1 cup. Then mix that up until it gets very thick. To make the strawberries, you need to pit the strawberries and cut them up into little slices. Once you cut up enough strawberries, you're going to want to sugar the top to make sure they're sweet. This is the final product. And finally, the bundt cake. You're going to need flour, cocoa powder, butter, sugar, baking soda, vanilla extract, eggs, sour cream, and water, and a bundt pan. So you're going to want to mix together your flour, sugar, and baking soda, and whisk that together until it's fully combined. And then you're going to want to set that aside. Then you're going to have your melted butter, cocoa powder, and mix it together until fully combined. Then slowly add in your flour mixture until fully combined. Then add your sour cream, eggs, and vanilla extract and mix that thoroughly. When that is thoroughly combined, you can grease, flour, and cocoa powder your bundt pan. Then pour all the batter into the bundt pan and set that in the oven for 350 for 45 minutes. Once that comes out, you're going to flip it upside down and let it cool. To make the glaze, you need milk chocolate and dark chocolate and whipping cream. Measure out 4 ounces of chocolate chips. I did half and half, and then simmer the whipping cream until it's almost ready to boil. You're then going to want to pour the whipping cream over the chocolate chips for 4 minutes. Once that sits, you then want to stir it up until it becomes nice consistency. Then pour that evenly over the bundt cake until the bundt cake is fully covered. This is your final product. Some of the struggles I had were obviously forgetting the vanilla extract, but also making the cookies too hard and the cupcakes too dry. Another struggle I had was finding enough time for baking these. It took up majority of the day because I had to find the recipe, bake, and then clean up after myself. Some successes I had were successfully baking 5 different baked goods. I am proud of all of them. I think I did a really good job on them. Going forward, I will definitely continue baking fairly regularly. I had a lot of fun baking, and I learned some crucial skills that will help me throughout life.